opportunity to get people in our clubs, to get people involved in Rotary, because now we have, we have that arm out there that we can literally reach out to them. So so watch for more as we come along, and get more information. A lot of this information is just trickling into us. So it's not that we have a ton of information, but Jim has more information than anybody on it. So I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about that project. I think we can definitely sink our teeth into that and make that happen. So a couple other things is I've added an agenda item on here. Max, you sent me an email yesterday, Max Morley, and it just happens, and I haven't even talked to Max about this, but it just happens to correspond with with Dan Steele's counterpart over in Dallas. His name is Howard Templin, which is the Dallas district's district governor nominee. And Howard has put together a program that he's looking at the district's Rotarians that are in trouble, that may be struggling with their business, may be struggling with finding employees, but he's putting together, or he has put together as of today, a program that people can put their resumes on, and others in our district can go look at resumes and say, I need a great employee for this position, or I'm maybe underemployed or whatever. So it's going to be an employment type deal that we can use for our Rotarians and their friends and their families, that we can have posted. And I'll be working, having Howard's counterpart, or Howard's PI person, and John in communication. So maybe we can put a link to their deal on our district website. I'm hoping to have Howard on our next month's campfire chat, just so Howard and I can kind of feed some information of what we have. We have a lot of people in the industry, or in our industry, in our Rotary district, that are really hurting on employment. I know a ton of people that are in business, and their business has been greatly affected. I have a business, it's a training business, and we have a very difficult time finding venues to train people, and venues that we can actually have people comfortable in an area. We have to have a bigger room now with less people. But some of these hotels, some of these restaurants, some of these other areas are really, really hurting. This is a great project for us to put into place to help people within our district. So it's literally a job-seeking type program that Howard and the Dallas district has put together. They've invited us. I believe that we're the only other district that they've actually included in this, to help people in our district. So, Max had some good feedback on that, regarding what he see out there of different Rotarians that are having a tough time. We've split our district dues in half. And so I'm hoping that if somebody's on the fence, our district dues are only $30, but if somebody's on the fence and they're only having to pay $15 or whatever, we go from there. So each of your clubs need to really take a hard look at where you're at on your membership. Once again, if you're a business owner, you're probably having to spend a little extra time. We don't want to suffer in Rotary where they're like, I don't need Rotary because I'm really busy on this right now, and I just don't need to go there. So, like I said, Howard's put together that deal. We hope to have more information, or we will have more information for you next month, second Tuesday of next month.
Roger, if I might comment.
Yes, please.
There's another side to that equation that I think is good for Rotary. A number of us are business owners. Some of us are doing well enough that we're trying to fill employment positions. And quite frankly, some of them are having trouble finding qualified people to do those jobs. It would be wonderful if we could find that person and he happened to be a Rotarian.
Absolutely. Yeah, we hope to do that, and maybe it might even bring other people into Rotary that we can reach out to. We all go to, maybe go to church with somebody, or have a family member or a neighbor, or somebody that might be, that might be looking, that might be just incredibly qualified. So let's help some people out. We'll have more to come on that. John, I'll get you some information on that so we can maybe broadcast that out a little bit. So I'm excited about it. I think that's a great program and it's no cost to us. It's no cost to the district. Nothing comes out of our budget or anything on that basis. So club visits, all the club leadership should have emails on arranging those club visits. I have an absolutely incredible team that we have in this district, some great people. Pat Peters is our district secretary out of the Decatur Club, and Pat is working to fill those slots. I've mentioned this before in a couple of meetings, but I really want to make sure that all the clubs understand I'm willing to do a Zoom meeting anytime you want me to cover you on a Zoom. But I am committed to get to your club, even if it's next June, if that's when you're opening up or you have members in there. We have a ton of clubs that are doing what we're calling hybrid meetings, where they're doing a live meeting at the same time they have their Zoom on, so other people can hear and participate in the meeting. We've been doing that in my club for a while. One of the ideas that we have on that is, or one of the things that we do in my club is we will, a couple of us may open our smartphones up, open the Zoom chat up, and now we have 2 or 3 cameras in the room. We'll turn off the sound so we don't get the echo. But now we have different views of different areas within our meeting and within our room. So we've had several guests come on to my club's Zooms. We've got a couple of people that are entertaining the thought of becoming a member of our club. So we're pretty excited about that, and it's just a great way to get people out there. But once again, on the club visits, let Pat Peters know where you're at on your club, and let's get in there. We have about 30, I think it's 33% of our clubs meet on Tuesday. There's only so many Tuesdays in the year, so if you're meeting on Tuesday, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the big days. So if you're meeting on Tuesdays, I really would like to be part of your club, part of your program, so we can put that together any day at all that you're meeting. But I want to be involved in that. Reach out to Pat Peters, reach out to me. But Pat Peters is the point person on that, and she's kind of pushing me around pushing me along on the schedule, and making sure that everybody's on the same page on that. So we have several club visits that we've done a few, and we've got several that are in the mix. So reach out to your club, schedule me out there. I'm committed to go to every club in this committee, in this district, and I'm committed to go to be with any of you on Zoom meetings as we can. I can't be in 2 places at one time, so I can do one club at a time on a Tuesday at lunch, or whatever day at lunch or breakfast or dinner. So let's get that rolling. Chris Castro, which is our district treasurer, brings an awful lot to the table. We've already made some incredible improvements on how the district treasury works, and we're catching up on some stuff. We had some challenges. Banking laws have changed in the last couple of years, and we had to reach out to Rotary International to get some 60-year-old documents to be able to set up some bank accounts, because it didn't affect anything a couple of years ago, but it started affecting things the last year or so. So Rotary International was very good to us and got us those documents, but it was a challenge working with the various banks. We chose to go with the same bank that Peter Scott worked with in his year. They're incredible people. They're in Arlington. They're Worthington State Bank. So if you need a good bank, I'm putting a plug in for them, because they really been over backwards to help us. And and make that happen. We have, you know, I mentioned the PI team, but we have a grants committee that's really making things happen. And we have some incredible assistant district governors. So excited about that, excited about what they're doing and what they're reaching out and bringing to the table and helping the clubs that are out there. I've limited the clubs to 3 and 4 clubs, no more than 4 clubs per assistant governor, because it's all about building relationships. And the assistant governor, I'm not district, the assistant governors are out there for relationship help. They're not, they may not know everything, but they're going to know who to talk to, and that's what it's all about. So they have a great area there. We have some wonderful programs coming up with polio. I'm excited about that. And John Bullock and his team out there, they will come to your club. They will do Zoom meetings or whatever to promote to your club our polio projects. We hope to have that close to 100,000 this year that we bring to the table, and they're going to be doing stationary bike rides and some other areas in there. So get involved with that. Reach out to the polio team. Once again, on the district website, they're there and they're easy to work with. And last, let's see here. Once again, if you have a person that you're wanting to see on the fireside chat, I'll be asking Brian with Shelter Box, some other people through the district, just to get information to our district out there about some of the programs that we do. The Dictionary Project is an incredible project. Our blood drives, our blood vampires are doing great. And last, I want to throw out there, and I'll be working with John this week to get this all on the website where you can register. But we have our installation banquet that is scheduled for September the 20th, which is going to be at Joe T. Garcia's. It's going to be an outdoor event. We had an event a couple of years ago in Fort Worth with the Fort Worth clubs, and we filled 300 people. I don't foresee we're having 300 people at the installation, but if we do, that's great. Joe T. Garcia's is it's got an incredible courtyard and the food's okay. Food's tolerable, so the food's okay. And you know, we're all in Texas, so we like Tex-Mex. But plan to be there. It's going to be inexpensive, $25 a plate, and they'll have a cash bar for their margaritas. And remember, Joe T. Garcia's does not take credit cards, so if you want a margarita, you're going to have to pay cash because that's kind of who they are and what they do. So that's going to be a fun deal. It's going to be late in the afternoon, but we're going to be done early enough that hopefully nobody's going to have to drive home in the dark, unless you're in Abilene, and you're always driving in the dark anytime you go anywhere from Abilene. But so that's kind of what I'm going to wrap it up with that. I really appreciate everybody coming on here. Does anybody have any other comments or any questions?
Hey, I do. Well, she did it backwards. John. I did want to point out that Jessica had a great idea. One is those Tuesday meetings. Why don't you get 3 or 4 clubs to do them together?
Oh, well, you know, we did that with Fort Worth and Arlington and Denton, and that was fun. That might be that's a good idea on Zoom meetings. That we could do that on a Zoom meeting too. That might be fun to gather some people together. So I'll reach out to the.
I mean, we've got Eastland and Cisco, I think, also meet on Tuesdays.
Cool. All right.
I do also want you to note that we have a couple of members here that either have been extremely bad and are in that place that no one wants to go, or they've taken this fireside chat thing very seriously.
Well, I think David's been eating such Mexican.
Are showing us how to use the.
That's right. I've started a vegetarian diet recently.
Yeah, we're on your PI team. What do you expect from us?
That's not well, there you go. You guys are good representatives. And of course, I'm going off my end polio now, just in time for the boss to tell us to start thinking about end polio now. So,
Roger, I have a question.
Yes, Max.
You have any idea how many clubs are actually meeting live versus meeting on Zoom?
John, you want to answer that? We've tried to find that out, but I don't know how close of an
Well,
answer.
we haven't done a recent survey. When we did the survey back at the end of May, there was there was about 30% of the clubs that weren't meeting at all at that time. And of course, those that were meeting virtually. So, but we haven't done a more recent. I know of several clubs personally that are doing the hybrid that Roger talked about, where they got members that stay home and then they got members that meet at wherever they meet. The biggest problem that I see most clubs having is, like our club, we can't meet if we wanted to because the place where we meet isn't going to open up. A lot of clubs, some of the larger clubs, they virtually fill up the restaurants, and those restaurants, can't get open beyond 50% capacity. So it's a challenge for everybody. So
The reason I'm
anyways,
asking the question.
to answer your question, I
is-
don't know how many are meeting of the 74 clubs
Okay.
are
The
meeting.
reason I'm asking the question is because I think in our club, in the Denton Rotary Club, there's a strong inclination to stay on Zoom. And staying on Zoom, we find more and more of our members, marginal type members, that are maybe getting discouraged about Rotary. And I don't know what's going to happen when we start meeting again. Are those people going to show up and say, I found that I didn't need Rotary because we were on Zoom and I was not coming to the Zoom meetings. So I think I'll just drop out of Rotary. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it is a worry.
Max, I agree. I think it's a worry. We we meet strictly on Zoom in Fort Worth Southwest. And we have about 18. We do have 18 members, but only about 10 will show up for the Zoom meeting. And I'm beginning to worry that once we get started again, we may lose a few people.
Yeah, well, see, we have 70 members, and we have about 25 that show up. That's about 1/3. And,
What do you normally get at a live meeting?
we're running around 60%.
Yeah, we run about that too. We run a little more than that. We run about 12.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
maybe 15, actually.
Yeah, well, that's one of our big objectives, is to improve all those things,
I think it's a concern. I don't know how to address it.
It's a very big concern for us. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
But we don't feel comfortable meeting live yet. There's just too many people over the age of 65.
I have a comment.
One thing I would like to find out from John, if you can do a survey, maybe, John, is if more of our clubs were meeting live, it would be more evidence that I could put in my pocket that, hey, other clubs are meeting live. Why don't we go ahead and do it? I don't know if that's good thinking or not.
Max, I would
I have a
recommend that
comment.
you
I have
take
a
it club by
comment.
club
This is-
and take your individual club into account, because every club's a little different. So for instance, our club, we have some of the younger members who are meeting face to face, but almost everyone over the age of 50 is meeting on Zoom.
Right, got it.
Max,
Hang on.
mineral.
You got to hear this, okay? I live out here in
I have a
Robeson
comment.
Ranch. Okay, we are starting a new club here in Robeson Ranch. It's a satellite club. Everybody out here is in that high risk category. It's a retirement community.
Yes.
We're starting this new club. We have 11, 12, 13 people showing up. This week we'll probably have 15. We wear masks when we come in. We're safe. We take precautions. I think we need to take precautions, but we need to move forward and we need to get over the fear. We
I
hope
have
to
a-
launch with 60 in January.
Well, one final
But are you
comment.
willing to
I have a
bet your
comment.
life on it, Don? I'm not.
One final comment for me, and that is, whatever the majority of the people in our club want, that's what we will do.
In
Yeah, that's-
Mineral
that-
Wells, we have not been meeting, but we're going to start meeting on September the 9th. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've missed my Rotary meetings.
Yes.
Jessica, what were you going to say?
Well, if you do a survey with your members, ask them how many of them have been to a Walmart for groceries, or how many of them have been to a restaurant in the last 3 months. I bet you're going to have 90% of them. There will be 10% who are really careful because they have real and factual health problems, but the rest
Yes.
of them are just trying to be overcautious. I'm telling you right now, if you find a restaurant that will let you meet in them, they're not going to let you meet any closer than 2 tables apart or 1 table apart. There's going to be 1 table in between you, which is fine. You wear your masks going in. You're sitting a table apart from each other. People will tend to congregate with the person that they know is safe, and that's how our meeting is going. We're meeting in person, and right now we're having about 10 to 15 people at each meeting, but that's about what we had before. So and we're broadcasting it on Facebook Live if we can, or we're trying to figure out how to do Zoom Live. But still, you got to remember that in person is just so much better, but you have to accommodate the other people. And if you can
Yes.
get to a restaurant, you're going to wear a mask anyway.
I mean, I'm going to chime in on this a little bit too. I mean, I think it's super important to meet people where they are. So, I mean, there's not one way to do it. That's why we've taken on the hybrid way. We have about 15 people that join on Zoom, and once this COVID is over and done with, we're planning on keeping Zoom because I think it's a great tool to keep people engaged. People can do makeups. And that's just kind of the way everything is trending, is to technology anyway. So I think it's just real important to meet people where they are, and that's going to keep people interested and engaged. So.
Yeah. May I say something? This is Diane Moore with the ATP Rotary Club, and I typed it on the chat. We've been meeting in person every other week, and we also had the Zoom set up so that those that can't come are still at the meeting with us. Our numbers have gone down, but we have about 25 people show up in person with about 10 people on Zoom on that every other week, and we're planning on going every week here pretty soon. But the place where we meet does all the spatial.
Let me also say that on our sponsor club, Cross Timbers, they have had pretty good membership. I think they have about 110 members, but they've having about half their club show up, and they a good 15 or 20 of them are showing up on Zoom. So I think the hybrid meeting is a great opportunity for those that are not comfortable yet, maybe later, but it's a way to get some of those people that are not ready, or maybe they weren't connecting anyway. So I think that we have to explore all the opportunities.
Well, if I could add
hybrid. Oh, go ahead.
This is Jimmy,
and if I have a comment.
If I could say, in Grapevine, we have a hybrid meeting. We meet in
Jimmy
person
and
as well as
Emily.
on Zoom. We have about 50 people attending in person, and we'll range from 30 to 35 or so on Zoom each week. And it works well.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting to hear everybody talk about their challenges in the club, and I think it really bespeaks one of the major reasons why we're having this workshop coming up on Thursday, because 2 of the strategies that we are going to talk about are enhancing participant engagement and increasing club's ability to adapt. And we've really been talking a great deal about that just in this last few minutes, about how important that is to the clubs. Let me also ask you to please go back to your clubs. Make sure that you have a good job description for the membership chair your public image chair, and foundation chair. I find a lot of clubs are probably pretty good in the membership category, pretty good in the public image, but the Rotary Foundation chair is a relatively new position in clubs, and some clubs are really active with that person, and then in other clubs that person doesn't exist. But going forward with what we're going to talk about on Thursday night, those people do exist, and they're going to be, not only do they exist, but they will be key to your club operations and accomplishing the vibrancy that we're talking about. So this feeds right in to that. So please check and make sure there's a publication put out by Rotary called Lead Your Club, and it has basically there is a pamphlet for the membership chair, public image chair, and the foundation chair that includes that job description. And I think you can get that at Russell Hampton, and you can order those booklets. It's well worth the investment.
I just want to add
Very
what Gary put in the chat about the 380 Club has always met hybrid. We also have a joke that we've gone back to 1905 style because we are having our socials rotate between our members' businesses. And so it's a safe environment, and we're able to see our other club members' businesses, and we're rotating. And that gives another thing that we're able to do right now when we're limited on where we can meet.
That's a great idea, Sina.
Yes.
Sina. Miss Tidwell.
Sina.
Okay, we just had a question on the chat regarding any limitations on how big gatherings can be. Rotary International, and we fall back on Rotary International. It's whatever your city, your county, your area has on limitations. There's not two parts of this country that's the same. So Jerry, you were asking about if the governor limits meetings to 10. No, we don't limit anything. It's based upon where you're at within your county. We have counties in our district that literally have not had any COVID, active COVID virus or whatever, and lots of cities that haven't. And we have other ones that you know, it's a pretty serious issue. So Rotary International just essentially came out and said, you fall back whatever your county comes to or whatever your city comes to on meetings. So some are wide open, some aren't.
This is Jim Anna. Can I say something?
Yes.
I was with two Rotary directors in a Zoom meeting not long ago, and they made a very important comment. They said it doesn't matter whether you're meeting in person in some clubs or you have a hybrid or you're meeting on Zoom, but the responsibility of the club is every week to contact every member that is not participating and tell them that they are missed and that they hope that they will come. Because the most important thing in Rotary, besides, in fact, more important than doing projects, is to have membership that feel they're wanted, they're needed, and they're part of Rotary. You have to have a good club in order to do the other things. And I think the first thing we need to do is every week, when we have whatever kind of meetings we have, there should be someone in the club designated to call everyone that has not been there. We used to do this years. I think that will help a lot in terms of whether you have meetings or people go on Zoom meetings. It depends upon a little bit. I think that the main emphasis should be to tell every single person every week if they're not there, that they're needed to be there, and that we miss them.
This discussion, it kind of comes up on something that I had in mind was, has anybody checked with the stadiums? We've got 3 that aren't being used much apparently in Arlington. And you don't have to rent the whole stadium, but they've got rooms that that can do a whole lot of people when there's not limits. And so I didn't know how expensive that is and how they would rather have a little money than none. I don't know where they are in that thing, and I didn't know if anybody has any idea on it.
Hale, that's something that I could check on.
Yeah, but I think most Arlington clubs are meeting live right now. I think. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe.
Well, that's okay, Roger. I just want to say I appreciate what Mark said about meeting people where they are. You know, we're having a live meeting and working. It's been a challenge to get Facebook Live or Zoom really working consistently. But the thing is, we're having a live meeting and we're not twisting anybody's arms. If they don't feel safe in coming, then certainly they're. But we have a wonderful secretary, and she's reaching out with a recap of the meeting, regardless of how things work. She sends out a recap following the meeting every week. And so it's kind of like the agenda that goes out with our club before the meeting. And Jessica's flashing. I don't know what the sunshine chair is how that relates to this, but
well, that's an excellent idea. It kind of follows up with what Jim said. Marilyn happens to be we don't call it a sunshine chair, we call it the Rotary Cares, but that's exactly what they do. She follows up with the members that haven't been there and sends them cards and lets them know we're thinking, and occasionally talks to some of them. And, you know, it's what you got to do these days.
I think Jessica's saying have your sunshine chair or whatever that person's title might be, have that ask that person to reach out to those that they're not present. But
very good.
We have a big venue in Kennedale. If anybody wants to join us, you can sit 3 tables away from everybody. And Thursdays at lunchtime, welcome visitors always.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. We've been over about 10 minutes longer than I expected to. One thing that we are with Rotary, we're all problem solvers. So let's solve problems on our clubs and in our communities. Look for the employment. I don't know what that's going to be called, but the employment thing that we're gonna be joining with the Dallas district on to just help people out that may be having trouble within their businesses or whatever. So I really do appreciate everybody coming on here, everybody being here. Peter, thank you for all your support. Janelle, thanks for getting on. I'm excited you got on the meeting tonight. So everybody, really do appreciate it. We've got a great team out there. I know I missed a lot of names out there that are people that just come to the table that help a lot. So thank you so much. Register for the Vibrant Club Workshop, and we will see you in the same venue in about 3 weeks. And it is recorded. Somebody asked about it. It is recorded. John, I guess you'll put it on the website or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I confess I forgot to hit the record button, so I missed the first 10 minutes or so. But the rest of it will be on there. Roger's meeting will be under 45 minutes. The recording will be anyhow.
Well, that's my goal.
Great idea, Roger.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, John, for putting this together.
No problem.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Roger, who are we supposed to contact to set up our governor visit?
Pat Peters.
Pat Peters. Okay.
Yeah, if in the chat area, she has her email there. Let me pull that up real quick. It is.
Or you could just look at the district website.
Yeah, district website has it too.
Well, that's just too easy. I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah, it's patricia.peters.2018@gmail.
Or if you got the Club Runner app on your phone, you
Yes.
could bring it up on that too.
There you go.
Okay, patricia.peters2018@gmail.com. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Everybody can go back to sleep now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that room that Henry Harper has. That's looks like a place that you could have some fun.
Well, now that I have you all here for this meeting, can I ask, how do they do that? John, how are you doing that background?
Oh, that's you could do it on your phone, on yours. Just go down where. Well, let me.
The video button.
You know where you turn on your video button. There's a little arrow to the right.
On the bottom left.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything. I'm on an old iPad, so maybe it's not.
It should work.
Nope,
but
that's
anyway,
stop
where it says
video.
stop video, there's a little arrow that goes up. Click on that arrow, and one of the choices is choose a virtual background.
Yeah.
The problem with some of the virtual backgrounds, like I chose here, you can kind of see that if you don't have
it's
the
kinda
right
glitchy.
background, yeah, if you don't have the right background, it does some weird things.
Yeah, it's kind of glitchy.
So I got a mustache and a beard.
I'm trying to find it
That
for the
looks
whole
pretty
meeting.
cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you look like you're disappearing into the background. Okay, I'll just keep looking. But thanks anyway. The good meeting.
That was fun.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.